So Ricky, you've had Paul Sass in the gym today, going through some UFC moves and showing him a bit of boxing. How did you find it overall?
Very, very interesting, to be honest. I'm only a new fan, with the mixed martial arts, but I'm getting more and more intrigued every time I see it. I went to Las Vegas a few weeks back and presented an award at the mixed martial arts show. I'm sharing the ring with Paul today, and he really frightening. He got me in his triangle, move, put my head down, and I literally could feel the blood stop running, to my head. It's a real. Apparently he's got 30 other moves like that. So that's a talent. It's impressive.
Do you think there's sort of a lot that UFC fighters, should we say, could learn from boxing and vice versa?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, boxing could learn a lot from the UFC of how they organise a show and put a show together. It's because we're all in the entertainment business. There's a lot we can learn from it. The marketing, the machine that they use is very, very impressive. But I was in the ring and I just, I think combination punching is probably not for the UFC, in my opinion, because the more punches you throw, the longer you're stood there for, where they can grab you and get you on the mat. But I showed him a few single shots where he could get leverages in his punches, so hopefully he can take that back to his gym and it's something he can use. Yeah.
Do you think there's a lot of scepticism in boxing over the sort of mixed martial arts?
Well, a lot of people, some people are worried that they might overtake boxing, but I'm not too worried. I think boxing will have their audience and UFC will have their audience, but there's a lot we can learn from the UFC.
What do you make of all these boxers as well that think I'll give UFC a go, it'll be easy, and then come unstuck?
To be honest, everyone that's done it has never been successful with it, to be honest with you, because they probably have this brain scheme of an idea, I'll be able to do that, and it's two different games, isn't it? I mean, with boxing you've got to just watch the fists. With the UFC you've got to watch the fists, you've got to watch the elbows, you've got to watch the knees, you've got to watch the grappling. It's it's a real talented sport.
Now moving on to a couple of little things. Martin Murray's got a world title fight coming up. Obviously he's going into the Lions Den. It's going to be about 50,000 we're hearing as well, but full optimism.
It is, to be honest with you. I mean, like any great champion, always the reign has to come to an end at some point, and maybe it's the right fight at the right time for Martin. Martin has, I think he's 38, fast approaching 38 now. He's had a couple of injuries. His last fight he was hanging on for dear life, in the last round against Chavez Jr. So it might just be a case of the right fight at the right time. And to be honest with you, I'm very, very proud that the Costa fight was probably said to be one of the greatest wins in a British ring. I think if Martin Money could go there and upset the apple cart and beat Martinez, I think that would be one of the greatest wins in British history as well.
Make him a bit of a superstar.
Absolutely, yeah. That would cement his legacy no end.
Now, Gary Buckland's going to be on the card as well. Obviously, early days in terms of who he's going to be fighting, we believe. But another opportunity for him on a massive stage, possibly on HBO.
He's going to be fighting a world title eliminator, to be honest with you. So that's fantastic for Gary. I think they'll love him in Argentina. He's got a very, very exciting style. In his last win when he beat Steve Foster Jr., he's probably ready to move on to European and world level now, because he's beat all the contenders, I guess. In Britain he beat Steve Foster Jr. last time, didn't he? So we've worked a bit of magic. We've got him in a world title eliminator, so it's a great opportunity for him. It's a fight I think he can win as well.
Now, in terms of Hatton Promotions, anything in the offing that you can tell us about this stage?
Not really. All the champions, if you like, have all got the fights sorted. Really, I think Sergey Rabchenko was defending his European title in Monaco. You've got Martin Murray and Gary Buckland fighting in Argentina. I think the board have just put forward for Jazza Dickens to fight King Galahad. So that's going to take place with Scott Quigg to be fighting on the Malignaggi Mosley bill in America. So all the champions have got fights coming up, big fights. So it's exciting times, yeah.
Now there's a heavyweight down under as well who was making a little bit of a name for himself, Lucas Brown. He said this week that he's possibly interested in a fight with David Price, but is there a chance that he might fight Richard Towers before then as well?
He's the Australian heavyweight champion. David Price is the Commonwealth heavyweight champion. So there's a chance. I think Lucas is a world class puncher, murderous, punching power. But he'd certainly need that against David Price. David Price is a very, very talented fellow. He's got the height, the build, the speed, the boxing ability, but I think he's a very dangerous fighter, Lucas Brown. To be honest with him, I don't know whether David Price would fancy it, to be honest with you, because he's such a puncher, but be interesting to see. Lucas Brown could be a real heavyweight dark horse as far as I'm concerned.
That fight he was supposed to have with Richard Towers in Hong Kong had to fall through because Richard Towers had an ailment. Is that a possibility that could be remade?
We're hoping to reschedule the fight, yeah. Do it again in Hong Kong, and the fight, because they were all looking forward to the fight, like we all were, to be honest. But such is, it was a shame. Injuries happen, didn't it? But we're hoping to reschedule that for maybe probably April, May time.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Ricky.
My pleasure.